Okay, the reasons why we admit a new partner is when you need additional capital and also when you need additional managerial ability or the support. Okay, then examples of non-profit organizations. See, non-profit organizations are organizations which are formed for the welfare or the welfare of the society. So the main motive is service is the main motive. So examples would be school, educational institutions, trust, hospitals, charitable trust and hospitals. Now examples of liquidity ratio: current ratio, quick ratio; profitability ratio, quick gross profit ratio, net profit ratio; solvency ratio would be debt equity ratio, debt to capital employed ratio; activity ratio, turnover ratio. Examples would be inventory turnover ratio, trade payables turnover, trade receivables turnover ratio. Now average, they can ask for 1 mark. Mention what is average period. At the beginning of each month it is 6.5, mid of each month, mid of every month it's 6, end of each every month it will be 5.5, beginning of each quarter 7.5, mid of each quarter 6, end of each quarter 4.5. How we get those numbers? I've taught you the logic, so do that. Highest outstanding period plus the lowest outstanding period divided by 2 gives you these numbers. Okay, now shareholders are also called the owners of the company. Okay, please remember these points. One minute. Okay, then now common size of please remember when they say common size balance sheet, as I said, plus first arrange it in the format, okay, and then give a common size. So you give a common 100 to something. When it is balance sheet, give common 100 to total assets and total liabilities. So how do I find the percentage? Each asset by the total asset into 100. For liabilities, it will be each liability by the total liability into 100. When it is income statement, when they ask common size income statement, you will give a common 100 to revenue from operation, which is called sales. Okay, how do I find the percentage? Each item by the revenue from operation into 100. Okay, if it is comparative, they give 2 years. I will find increase or decrease. See if there's an increase, write it like that. When there's a decrease, write it in a bracket or a minus sign. How do I find the percentage increase or decrease? Increase or decrease divided by the base year, okay, and then into 100. This would be 5,000 divided by 25,000 into 100. For this it will be 10,000 divided by 10,000 into 100. So please make sure that you arrange 15 and then 16 and then start doing. Okay, these you have to think and do it. Okay, for 2 marks they can ask past journal entries. It can be depending on the sum. They can ask appreciation of pass a journal entry for appreciation of stock in at the time of admission. Where do we prepare? We write revaluation account. Okay, in admission, what do you do? Where do you take appreciation of building? You take it on the credit side. You remember, increase on asset, decrease on liability on the credit side, decrease on asset, increase. So what will I write here? By, suppose if they say building is appreciated by 10,000, so you write 10,000. Okay, now what is the journal? They asking you journal entry to pass for appreciation of building. So journal entry would be buildings account debit to revaluation account. The same way for any of the, they can ask journal entries for any of it. For example, unrecorded liabilities paid at the time of dissolution. So what do you do in dissolution? We write realization account. At the time of payment of unrecorded liabilities, where do you take? To bank. Under to bank, you write the unrecorded liabilities. So what would the journal entry be? Realization account to bank account. Bracket being unrecorded liability paid. If it is an unrecorded asset realized, we'll take it under by bank this side. Okay, so same way, bank account debit to realization. If any asset is taken over by a partner at the time of dissolution, I told you instead of by bank, we write that partner's name, excess capital account. So what would the journal entry be if an asset is taken over? X capital account debit to realization, anti-clockwise. If this is by, the heading will be 2. So like that you do it. They can ask journal entry for revaluation profit transfer to partners. When it is revaluation profit, which side do I take profit? To profit transfer to partners capital account. So journal entry would be revaluation account debit to partners capital account. If it's a loss, it will come this side. So you'll write by partners capital account to revaluation account. Okay, but in journal entry, please avoid writing by. Okay, yeah, so these points you need to know. And also they can ask journal entries, generally basically the journal entries will be related to the sums that I've taught. Okay, then please think and then do. Now distribution of accumulated profit or reserve, this they can ask. Distribution accumulated profit at the time of retirement is distributed in dash ratio. It is old ratio. So please think what we do in the sum, the same thing you will write there. Okay, reserve is also distributed in old ratio. Okay, yeah, so please think and then solve such questions. Another point I wanted to say was admission is done, no? Okay, please learn the definitions. At partnership is an agreement between two or more persons who've agreed to share the profit and losses in agreed ratio, where business can be carried on by all or anyone acting on behalf of all. So please learn the theory which is being taught, I mean, from your classwork, from the PDF and everything. Yeah, so and I think I've covered almost the other points. You can write, they can ask advantage limitations of financial statements, they can ask uses of cash flow statements. So please learn those, and practical oriented, whatever is being covered, please try to learn it. Okay, yeah, they can ask dash percentage is charged at the on interest, I mean dash percentage of interest is charged on advances or loan. It is 6%. Okay, so when there is no agreement, profit and loss will be shared equally. And then no salary, no commission will be paid when there is no partnership deed. So such theory can be asked.